Hey up lads and lasses, Damfire here, back again with some more GR2 content for you today. So we're going to have a quick look. They've added the new prob up, so we'll have a quick look at that. And I'm going to show you a fog. Just me playing around with the fog a little bit, testing a bit more with the missile changes that we got a couple of weeks ago now, or a week ago. And show you how viable it could be, especially on a newer build, because you can get a fog, for free. So it might be a nice stepping stone while you're trying to work on your monsters, something like that. And seeing if it's viable to stick missiles onto it now instead of maybe projectiles or lasers, which you may have done previously. So prob up, we have the Krypton supply box, obviously, and the prob up is D-Missiles plugin, which is the additional 10% damage. Is quite nice if you're looking for the if you're trying to build a missile build out. I actually already have one, so you guys see a little bit of that anyway. An extra 10% damage coming from stuff. And you get the replenishment CP. That's the carrier one that allows you, I believe it's the one that gives extra UAVs, so it's actually one of the worst ones. Replenishment CP. Yeah, carrier-borne aircraft operations increased by 2. Oh, that's not the one that's giving the extra ones, is it? Oh, that's letting you get 2 more flights out. It's kind of like the ammo for them. So it's okay. It's like the middle ground one. It's not as good as Assault, and yeah. Yeah, I just recommend Assault, really. Efficiency, combat cooldown of, yeah. Is it the enhanced one that gives you 2 more? There you go, there's the enhanced one. So yeah, it's middle of the road. The Assault is better in pretty much almost every situation. This might make carriers viable inside of Wolf, but unlikely. So, onto the more fun stuff. We're going to have a look at my fog. As you can see, it's order 9 already, well 936, so it's up there. Devices, these aren't completely maxed, but this is the build I'm going for. A hell of a lot of HE. The Captain I can undeploy for the first test, and then we'll stick Jim on it, see what Jim's like on it. That's got to be good to look at, right? Loads of missiles flying everywhere. Just quickly though, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and the devs have asked me to make sure you go check out the Facebook page that they've got set up for their support and stuff. It is back. I will be leaving a link in the description below, so do check that out and give the page a like. I'm not paid to say that, by the way. They've just asked me nicely, so I will. So yeah, I tried a few things. It still has that issue with the missile, with it going into range and losing its bonuses. So what I will do is I will micro it a little bit, i.e. I will turn the engines off straight away. It'll take a wing anyway, and you get to see it with the damage increase anyway from the warship feature. I've not maxed this warship feature out. It's up to 26%. I can't exactly remember what it goes up to. I think it's around 30%. It's 2% per level, right? So if I go to 28, 30, like 34% or something there. But we do have that lovely shiny gold plugin giving me an extra 10% damage, which is quite nice. These are a little bit placeholder. The missile one will stay here. The standard armor will probably stay here as well. These I will probably change around a little bit because this thing might have energy issues and might not. I haven't really tested it that far. Shields still need to go up on it and stuff, but this is more just a show of DPS. So we've got thermal damage and crit damage on the main sub, and we have max range and crit damage on the secondary sub. The reason I'm running these is because we do have plenty of critical strike rate coming from here. Again, if I ran this in a fleet, I would probably have it supported with strike CNs and global CNs as well as a RAND. So that crit rate will be up there, so the crit damage is going to be quite nice in this situation. I have tested it with having the thermal damage and the increased range on the front subsystem, bringing all my weapons well out of that 400 range, being up to 670, and it still went into range and losing its warship feature buff, which is a little bit unfortunate. So Without much else to do, let's jump in. We'll talk about this a little bit. I will be firing off the thermal missiles, etc., because they do add to the damage a little bit, but we are now in range. We can flame out. It looks fantastic. I love missiles. Like, these do look really, really cool when they're firing. You got like this massive swarm of missiles coming out. It's even more if you have cluster. But we are straight up to 10 stacks of fire damage, and we can keep that up pretty much permanently without any issue of it dropping at all. That's going to be doing 2,000 damage per second at 10 stacks with the T3. So plenty of damage coming in here from that as well. We're up to about 15,000, 14,000 damage per second. It's not bad considering it's a missile boat. And considering the range you can stay at dealing this. And yeah, again, we are flamed out just so we can keep this concentration up. No enemies in focus, damage increases. So we're coming up to the 1 minute mark, and we're just shy of 1 million damage with no captain. Not bad at all. So let's go stick Jim on it, and we'll see what we can do there. Again, there are still flaws with missiles. They can be shot down on the way to the enemy, which sucks, and that halves your DPS sometimes. They run out of ammo. That's also a big problem for them. So there is things you need to be aware of when you're running a fog like this. Cruise missiles have less of an issue. They have more of a move off on the sides a little bit. So we got loads of missiles out straight to 10, and we can shoot our thermal off. We could just stick them on auto actually now. So a nice initial burst of 300,000 damage, which is not bad considering a lot of these weapons aren't maxed out. So you could probably see this being around 4, maybe 500,000 with Jim on here. Actually, that should be quite easy to do, 500,000. Yeah, you should not have a problem doing that. We're coming up to the 30-second mark, and we've hit 800,000. Again, we are keeping... No, we've lost the fire debuff. So interesting. Must be a cooldown when he's just fired a load of the weapons off. So we're back up to 10 stacks within moments, though, so it's not going to matter too much. The HE will keep the stacks up as well a little bit. But there we go. We're just shy of 1.5 million with Jim on a fog, which isn't upgraded. Well, not maxed out yet anyway. The small warship feature that I can grab hold of, increase that damage, and only 3 of these weapons are maxed out. The thermal's not even really upgraded, and this HE could do with some more love. I could easily see this thing pushing 2 million damage, which I believe pushes it closer on par with the likes of Legions. So this might be a nice ship to have in your fleet while you're still working on monsters. It won't beat monsters. If they fix the range issue it has as well, it makes it a little bit more viable. Yes, it's not going to have the damage of a monster, but at the same time, it's keeping range of the monster. And if you can keep that range, keeping, maybe a transition device on here and stuff like that, so whenever a monster tries to jump on you, you just jump away and you just keep range on the monster, you could dish out a lot of damage to that monster, potentially killing it before it can deal anything to you. So these could be fairly viable. I wouldn't recommend the full HE mix. I reckon adding cruisers on here, like a full cruiser set, would be quite nice, or mix and matching a little bit, maybe having 2 of each type, or maybe a HE cluster setup instead. That's just due to the fact that when a HE is firing, you're firing, what's that, 6 missiles. If you're losing one of those missiles, you're losing a subsequent amount of damage quite quickly. So where clusters, they fire even more missiles. If you lose a few of them, the damage difference is not going to be quite so much. Cruisers, again, are nice because they all hit from the side of the ships and they go round, and it can quite... it does most of the time miss the shots coming from projectile weapons because they come straight at you, torpedoes straight at you. So it normally misses and ignores those shots, so you don't get much of a DPS loss. They are also higher damage on average, but you got to remember that cooldown sucks on them at 18 seconds, and I haven't seen cooldown reduction role on these subsystems as of yet. Anyway, guys, hope you liked the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And yeah, don't forget to check that page out for the devs. It will help them out a little bit. And yeah, all that good stuff. Thank you, guys, and I'll catch you next time.